These third graders are using their classroom's computer station to learn about character development. These students are using laptops to practice their English language skills. And these middle school students are using an interactive whiteboard to collaborate on a complex math problem. The opportunities for using technology in your classroom are nearly limitless. Faced with all these options, how do teachers decide what is appropriate? In this video, you'll meet 3 teachers who will share their experiences using technology in the classroom.
I am Kate Barella. I'm a 3rd grade teacher at Nantucket Elementary. My philosophy on technology is that it's fantastic, it's wonderful, and it is helpful to a teacher and it is helpful to students, but it is just a tool. If you're not using it correctly, then it becomes sort of useless in your classroom.
Ms. Barilla has several desktop computers in her classroom. She uses them to tailor instruction to better match the different abilities and interests of her students, a technique known as differentiation.
During today's rotations, we're going to do some more practice with character traits.
Today, Ms. Barilla has broken her students into groups based on their reading skill level. The groups will rotate through a series of stations she has set up around the room. At the computer station, Ms. Barilla has set up an activity using ThinkPort's annotator tool. Different groups are presented with texts specifically geared to their reading levels. Students read the text and highlight words that describe a character's personality.
We had a template with each group name on it, and when you click on one of the group names, let's say Alpha for instance, it would bring them up to a text. So they would go through that text and they'd have to do different characterization activities for that group. They're actually going through and practicing at their skill level. And in the end, I can assess them based on what they did in their differentiated groups. Today's lesson is driven by 100% the objective, and it's also driven by the assessment. When I looked at the objectives, the best thing to use was the 3 computers at that station. It was allowing them to be independent, it was allowing differentiation, and it was also allowing them to work together cooperatively. At the end of the day, my question is, did they get it? That's my question every single day. Did they get this?
My name is Sarah Daniels and I'm the ESOL teacher here at Nantucket Elementary School. Today, you're going to get a chance to create your own cartoon. It's going to be a comic. Can anyone tell me what a comic looks like?
In today's lesson, Ms. Daniels asks her students to use Read Write Think's Comic Creator to create a comic about a place they want to visit. The activity is an exercise in identifying fact and opinion.
You need to have at least 1 fact and 1 opinion statement. I want to give them their own opportunity to create their own comic.
Rather than having her students work in small groups, like Ms. Barilla's class, Ms. Daniels asks her students to work on laptops. This way they can work at their own pace, demonstrating what they have each learned.
I could certainly have used this lesson and done just 1 smartboard all class, but it wouldn't have given my students the independent practice and opportunity to use the laptops that they really need.
Remember, in a dialogue, 2 people have to be speaking. So you have to have 2 characters and 2 bubbles.
The use of technology in general is very engaging for my students. When they're placed with that equipment in front of them, I find that they're often more engaged and more willing to take risks.
Which one of those is a fact statement?
This one. The mountains are 400 feet tall.
Good. Why is it a fact statement?
You can prove that it's 400 feet. You could go and measure the mountains.
Good.
Initially, learning how to use the technology was difficult, but now it's become a part of my daily routine. And exploring different options and ways that I can use technology in the classroom has become a way for me to re-energize my teaching as well.
I'm Lindsay Darty. I am a 7th grade special educator at Friendship Preparatory Academy at Calverton. By using technology all throughout my lessons, I find that not only is it easier for me, but it also gets the kids way more involved They have a lot more fun with it. They're learning without even really realizing that they're learning. All right, can I get a volunteer to read the objective for the day? Deanna, go ahead.
Today, Ms. Doherty's students are working together to solve a math problem on the interactive whiteboard.
What are we trying to do here?
Trying to make monster soup.
So we got to figure out the ingredients to put into the recipe of the monster soup, right?
Yes.
Ms. Doherty has taken the problem from ThinkPort's Lure of the Labyrinth game. Students must use addition, subtraction, and multiplication to figure out how much of 4 different ingredients are required to make a recipe of monster soup.
I want to see if you guys can figure out, working together, how to put in the correct amount. So I'm just going to sit back, kind of see if you guys can figure it out, working together to figure it out. My objective for today's lesson was to allow the kids to work together to solve a problem using the skills that they have been learning the past few weeks. I want them to be able to figure out something on their own.
Okay, I got an idea. Pick the 20 in there. Yes. Because we're going to do it at the last one. Pick the 20. And then too much. Put the 9 in there and then put the 4 in there because it's just going to take how much you need from the
When the kids were working with the interactive whiteboard, they were really learning through the experience. They would try different things, trial and error. There were a few that were really picking up on what to do, what not to do, and they were able to express and explain to the other students what to do and how to make it work. Deanna, can you explain that to them, how you got about those 3 carrots that we needed? Because that's how we would have gotten the 3.
20 minus 13 is 7, and then subtracted 4 and got 3.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Okay. So after considering all of the possible technology options I could have done with the students, I chose to do the interactive whiteboard. It's not just a chalkboard that you write on, they copy down the notes, or you show them how to do something. It really is a great way for them to come up and show their work. It's different from me getting up there and just saying, do it this way, don't do it this way, nope, that's wrong, this is right. You know, they can really understand something works, something doesn't work, and they can figure it out for themselves. Blake, thank you for pointing that out to everyone. Excellent job coming up. When I have all the students doing the lesson and they're correctly doing it and they're all engaged and really excited to come up to the board and do the work, it just really makes me as a teacher feel like I've actually accomplished something, and it's very rewarding to me as a teacher when all of them are excited to show me what they have learned.